Good morning. There was once a builder who had worked for years and was tired. He told his employer he wanted to retire. After all the years they had worked together, the employer was sad to see his worker leave, so he pleaded with the builder to do one last job before he left. This was not what the builder had expected. It was a Friday and he had hoped for a clean break so he could immediately start fishing that weekend. But instead, he was going to start building a 4-bedroom house on Monday. All throughout that final project, the builder moaned and groaned and grumbled. His heart was simply not in his work. All he could think about was all the time he was not spending on the bank of the peaceful river behind his house, casting his rod out to the obliging fish. He really didn't want to be digging foundations and mixing cement, so he took out his frustrations on the job, cutting corners and using inferior materials just to get the job done quickly and go home. Whomever ended up living there would certainly be in for some nasty surprises, but the builder would be long gone by then, so he didn't care. Eventually, the house was built, and his employer, the contractor, came to inspect the work. After a quick walk around the property, the builder handed the keys to his employer. To his surprise, however, the employer handed them right back to the builder and said, "This house is my gift to you for all your years of service." You can certainly imagine the sense of horror that overcame the builder when he realized that all the shoddy work he had done was for himself. He wished with all his heart that he had known in the beginning he was building for himself. Now he would have to live in this hastily constructed death trap. My dear friend, there are far too many of us living the life of this builder. We approach our work with such a lack of care, mainly because, well, it's not our own company. We treat customers anyhow because they're not our customers. We abuse office equipment, write on furniture, desecrate communal toilet facilities, abuse and misapply and misappropriate funds. We abuse staff, all because none of it is our property. We complain about our jobs no matter how high we climb the corporate ladder, or however much we're paid. As far as we're concerned, there are better things we could be doing with our time, so we don't want to spend an hour longer than we have to at work. What we haven't yet realized is that we're actually doing this damage. All this shoddy work we're putting in is going towards building our own death trap. Whenever we put up a poor performance at work, when we're stealing money from the coffers, when we're being rude to the customers, when we're turning up late, when we're on Facebook instead of on task, whose company are we collapsing? And whose country is this anyway? Isn't it ours? So when we're littering, when we're defecating on the beach, when we're driving above the speed limit through red lights, when we're insulting people just because they have different beliefs from us, when we're threatening each other's lives just because we want them to vote like us, whose country are we destroying anyway? Or are we thinking like the builder that the problems we are causing will not manifest until after we are long gone? Think again, my friends, because we're not destroying someone else's life or company or country by not being our best. You can't destroy what you don't first possess. It's our own lives that are about to come crashing around our ears if we don't wake up and take ownership of our mess. For me, the rule is simple. It's better to do it right from the very beginning, because one of these days, someone is going to hand you the keys and tell you to occupy your own mess. My name is Kojo Yankson, and I own this, so I handle it with care. Good morning, Ghana.